Hello, welcome to Maafa TV. This is Shift the Culture, and I'm your host, Leonard Abbott. And today we have breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Yes, there's a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah. Now, many of you may not understand what does this have to do with me, especially if you are in the United States. It has a lot to do with you, and we're going to share it with you right now. So, President Biden has been in talks and had been in talks for a while. This has actually been going on for months to stop the battles, the beefs, the wars, the shooting, the bombing between Israel and Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a militant group from out of Lebanon. They are actually tied into the political spectrum in Lebanon, and they have been a part of Lebanon and been a sector in Lebanon in terms of politics and military. It just kind of goes back to 1985 or so, when there was a Hezbollah and Israel outbreak in war, where basically Lebanon and Israel and Hezbollah formed from that war. You fast forward to 2006, there was a 34-day war between Israel and Hezbollah. And all this has to do with is the border between Israel and Lebanon. Southern Lebanon, which is controlled by Hezbollah, seeps into northern Israel. And what does that do? Causes conflict, causes issues. And so you fast forward to now, today, as of today, President Biden has gotten Israel and Hezbollah to cease fire, to stop beefing. That's very, very important. Now, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, and I'm probably saying his name wrong. In the comments, y'all correct me. However, I'm just gonna call him Mr. Benjamin. Mr. Benjamin, representing Israel, came out and spoke to why Israel decided to cease fire against Hezbollah. Israel's been very, very, very staunch on destroying any enemy that is trying to eliminate Israel. And obviously we know what happened last October when Hamas started to bomb Israelis, and as we know, escalated to what we have today. Now, it's very important for us to understand why this move is all happening. So Israel, basically, Benjamin is, and I would just call him Mr. Ben, so I don't mess up his last name. Mr. Ben basically came out and mentioned that there's 3 reasons why the ceasefire with Hezbollah has come about. And the number 1 reason is that it allows Israel to focus on Iran. Iran is a huge threat. Iran is a huge supporter of Hezbollah, and Iran has always had conflict with Israel. Number 2, it allows Israel to replenish. It allows the soldiers to rest up. It allows them to replenish weapons and recoup and re-strategize. And number 3, it allows them to separate Hezbollah support to Hamas. Hamas and Israel are still battling in the Gaza Strip. And this is important, where Hezbollah is now, because of this ceasefire agreement that's backed by the United States, it has to stop any attacks directly or indirectly towards Israel. It separates Hezbollah and Hamas's relationship, leaving Hamas isolated. Israel can focus on controlling the Gaza Strip and getting Hamas out. Now, all of this ties into a lot of different political moves and political plays. You got one side saying that Hezbollah, Lebanon, and a lot of other extremist groups out there in the Middle East, knowing that President Trump was just nominated, they don't want any parts at all with any sort of direct, indirect, any affiliation with anybody that has anything to do with going against the United States, because they cannot predict how President Trump is going to react, or President-elect, I'm saying that right, President-elect Trump, Mr. Donald Trump, whatever it is, y'all get what I'm saying. Basically, they're saying because Donald Trump was reelected as president, these extremist groups are like, look, we gotta figure out a way not to get involved with the United States, not to do anything or make it look like we're doing anything to attack the United States or side with anyone that is opposition to the United States, because you can't predict what President Trump will do if he gets into the White House, and they expect that if there's any hint of them getting involved in anything against the United States, there'll be a heavy hand coming down. So you have that portion. Well, then you have another side that is coming at it from the stance of what President Biden is doing to end and cap off his presidency by, basically using this as a moment to showcase his ability to negotiate, his ability to solve international conflict, because obviously he's in the White House, he's the president, and his administration is the one that is making this happen. Now, it's a key thing about this we have to understand. Number one, history repeats itself. History repeats itself. Again, this issue between Hezbollah and Israel has been going on for over 3 decades, and the last big conflict they had prior to this was in 2006. And so it was the same thing over the same region. That's lower Lebanon and northern Israel, and where everything kind of meets. This has always been a conflict. So you fast forward to now, this ceasefire is for 60 days. 60 days. Again, and now what this is going to do, it's going to allow those Lebanese residents who were in the southern portion of Lebanon, allow them to gradually move back in, as the Israel troops who are in southern Lebanon move back to northern Israel. And then it allows Hezbollah, the Hezbollah military group, to leave southern Lebanon and go further north in Lebanon. And basically, Lebanon troops are going to be coming in. I think they mentioned about 5,000 Lebanon troops are going to be coming in to actually monitor this process as Israel troops are leaving out of southern Lebanon, going back into northern Israel, and Hezbollah militants are now leaving southern Lebanon and going back in northern Lebanon, and basically dissipating. The Lebanon troops are going to come in and manage this. Now, the United States and France are going to supervise this agreement, meaning that if Hezbollah violates this, they attack Israel at any point in time, Israel has the right to strike back on any level, on any terms based on international law. So that means that if Hezbollah violates, the United States will be supervising, along with France, by the way, along with France, the United States, they will be refereeing this agreement. They'll be supervising this agreement and making sure, just doing some checks and balances. Hey, Hezbollah, we made an agreement. Don't do no side deals. Don't do no willy-nilly. Don't be, cultivating any other sort of groups or supporting any other opponent to Israel, whether directly or indirectly, or you are in violation of this agreement, and Israel will have the right to strike back. And vice versa, Israel has to abide by making sure that their troops get out of southern Lebanon and making sure that they focus on their criteria based off this agreement. That's number one, Iran. That's number two, giving itself time to replenish. And then number three, the focus now needs to be on the Gaza Strip. And President Biden has actually mentioned that he now wants to focus on, trying to put together a plan between Hamas and Israel to solve what's going on in the Gaza Strip, because it is a lot going on there still. So at any rate, just wanted to fill you all in. There's a ceasefire. This is breaking news. It happened today, and we're happy about that because families, children, mothers, fathers, innocent people, grandparents are all caught up in this mess, and lives are being lost daily, and we don't want innocent people dying because of men's poor judgment. And we understand throughout history that wars played a huge part in this world and will continue to play a part, as power, money, and influence is always triggers However, we gotta understand that there are innocent people, innocent lives that are at stake every day. So our prayers go out to all the families in the Middle East, all the families in Israel, all the families in Lebanon, all the families in Gaza Strip, all the families around the world, that are in countries and places where war and destruction is happening. We pray for the safety of all the families. And so, at any rate, I'll keep you all updated as new news or as new content comes out in regards to what's happening in the Middle East and in regards to other news that may be transpiring regarding politics and wars and different things that are happening around the world, plus what's happening domestically in our country. We have a lot of great content to touch on to shift the culture. I'm your host, Leonard Abbott, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button. You can follow Maafa Entertainment on Instagram. You can follow Maafa TV on YouTube. And we look forward to hearing from you all, seeing you all. We appreciate you all. We love you all. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Keep growing. Keep showing. All right.